Give me some.
What's up, y'all? In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made my own fur chair and fur stools. So I took this old chair and this old stool and made it into these furry, beautiful things. So I used this staple gun, some staples. I also used some metallic gold spray paint, a pair of old gloves that I found, some FAUX Fabric District spray, and some foam. And of course, I used fur fabric. I used about 1.5 yards of fur fabric. So I got this nice chair, y'all, from Goodwill. It was $7.50. I know, right? $7.50. And then I also have a stool. So first thing I'm doing is I'm laying down a blanket on the garage flooring because I don't want to get any spray paint on it. I already did start spray painting and then I realized, like, oh, you should probably put a blanket on the ground. So that's what I'm doing. So now I'm just spray painting the bottom of this chair, just the legs and stuff, because that's the only thing that's really going to show. You want to be sure that you get the bottom of the each leg as well, so that's what I'm doing here. So I'm doing the same thing to the stool. I am spray painting all of the legs, all of the bottom area pretty much of the stool, which won't be covered in fur. So instead of getting foam cushion, it was cheaper just to get the foam pad from Walmart. It was like $7. So it is actually pretty big and you can actually cut the foam. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to cut the pieces that I need. So now I'm just measuring how much foam I want. Since the foam is a little thin, I just decided to double it up. So I'm just going to cut how much I want for the back of the chair, where my back will be. And then I'm also going to cut some for where my butt would sit at on the chair. So now I cut out my squares. I am just going to take my staple gun and staple them onto the chair. So this doesn't really have to be precise. It doesn't have to be neat because the fur is going to cover it. This is just to add extra cushion and make the chair look a little thicker than what it really is. And I cut out some squares for the bottom part of the chair, and I'm going to do the same thing. I doubled them up and I'm going to staple them onto the chair. With a pair of scissors, I cut off the excess foam that I did not need. And here, as you see, I'm just going to tuck the foam in and staple it. So my chair is all foamed out. The foam doesn't have to be perfect or precise because the fur fabric is thick, so you can get away with that. So now I'm just laying the fur fabric on the chair and just placing it where I want it to go. This was the hardest part of this DIY because I didn't want any wrinkles in the fabric or the chair, so I had to kind of play with it a little bit before stapling. So it did take the longest, but it can definitely be done. So once I got the placement of the fur, I just began to tuck and staple. So I didn't cut off much of the fur, but I did cut off some. So here I'm just cutting off the excess that I don't need. I am leaving room, however, to tuck the fur underneath the chair. So I'm flipping the chair over to go ahead and tuck the fur fabric underneath the chair and staple it. So here's the finished product. So cute, right? So moving on to the stool, I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did to the chair. I got 2 squares of the foam and I am just placing it on the chair. I'm going to tuck it underneath and staple it. So I'm taking a square piece of the fur fabric and I'm going to tuck it underneath the stool and staple it. So here is my stool all finished. This DIY was fun, so be sure to comment down below and like the video. Follow me on Instagram and Snapchat at QueenKJD. Also in the description box, I will have a list of everything that I use and how much it cost me. So I'll see y'all in my next video. Toodles!